My husband drove slowly and stopped for a coffee on the way to the hospital while I was in labor. Now, I told him I want him out of my sight for a week or even forever. I just gave birth to my and my husband's first, and likely last, child 4 days ago. I'm so emotionally exhausted, but not for normal reasons. I don't think so. My husband has been stressing me out since I went into labor. Please tell me if this is just hormones. I truly can't even think properly cause I'm just so tired. So, I go into labor at 2 a.m. He takes his sweet time driving me to the hospital, an hour away. He even stops to grab himself a coffee. My water breaks 20 minutes from the hospital. I'm in excruciating pain and panicked because I'm still in the vehicle, and I can tell that I'm so close to giving birth. I was having contractions lasting 33-ish seconds, with exactly 1 minute between. He panics when my water breaks and pulls over and calls the ambulance, and we end up having to wait 10 minutes for them instead of him just driving me the rest of the way. As soon as I get in the hospital room, he starts losing it. He is sobbing, in full hysterics, and being so loud about it. He kept saying things like I can't lose her, insinuating that I was going to die. It essentially made me have a very difficult delivery because now I'm panicked, thinking I'm going to die. I deliver our daughter 22 minutes after arriving at the hospital. I eventually called my mother and asked her to see me. She comes in with my siblings, and within maybe 10 minutes, my husband is acting pissed off. He says he's stepping outside, comes back and 40 minutes later, my mom and siblings leave. He then starts jumping down my neck about how disrespectful my mother is for even showing up when she knows that I need sleep. Then he's badgering me about eating something despite me telling him several times I'm not hungry. So he gets irritated again, repeatedly telling me, you need to eat something, and getting increasingly stern as he speaks. Eventually, I gathered that he was hungry, and he felt guilty eating when I hadn't eaten, and instead of just saying that he just got an attitude, then he fell asleep. Whenever he woke up, and I was still awake, he got irritated again. You need to get some damn sleep. We get discharged the next day. So, since we have been home, he's stressing me out even more. If the baby spits up, he's immediately saying, oh my god, we need to go to the hospital. He has been trying to force feed me. He sits beside me, trying to feed me when I cannot keep a lot down right now, and he knows that. But, like, yesterday, I fell asleep. I had the baby beside me in the bassinet. He wakes me up and says, babe, she's been screaming for about 10 minutes. It makes me feel bad, but then again, he was in the room when I fell asleep, so where TF was he when she was screaming? He went to take a nap on the couch, but he came home yesterday, and I was taking a nap, and he said, under his breath, must be nice. I wish I could sleep. I told him at this point that I'm the one who's up all night breastfeeding the baby while he sleeps soundly. I do all nightly changes as well. I have the baby all day long. He works. Don't even start. He goes, no one asked me how I have been feeling since the baby was born. Then, yesterday, he was on the phone with someone telling them my birth story and made out like I was hysterical. He mocked my screams to show how I was acting, and that bothered me, and I told him that, and he said, you'll just find anything to be pissed off about right now, won't you? He says he doesn't want people around the baby but welcomed his mom not even 10 minutes later because she stopped by unannounced. I told him I needed him to leave for a week because he had been pushing me into a weird state like this. I told him, I don't fucking like you because of how invasive and demanding you're being, and I'm just really starting to dislike you. At this point, which he already knew, and he just kept pushing. He says I'm that he's stressed too, and that he's just looking out for me by trying to force me to eat and whatever. I just need space.